What kind of thought traffic is there of the mind? And what is the mood that follows it? If we're having good memories, pleasant thoughts, you're in a good mood. If you're having unpleasant, disturbing thoughts, remembering something that upsets you, you'll be in not such a good mood. Are we caught in traffic? But that traffic, you want to avoid it completely. You want to be in an empty space that is thoughtless, but not thoughtless in the sense of careless. We're taking great care, but we want the mind to turn inward to the silence, where thinking does not arise. The no thought moment. And what is that? It's a feeling, it's a presence. It's pure awareness, noticing what arises in the mind from an intuitive place, not from the intellect, not from the conjuring of the mind, not concocting and creating past and future, but we enter a zone that is timeless, beyond time, out of time, but not out of touch. We're present with that. It's close to us. It's as if we enter into the body and we rest in the belly. That you're experiencing life from your heart or from your belly. So you're very embodied. And thinking does not arise in the belly. So it's a good way to start. Belly practice, body practice, and then just being seated or standing. Notice your posture. Feel the seat and the body perched in it. Is it pleasant or unpleasant? In that way, we know what we are experiencing body-wise. We have a wisdom of the body and its condition. And then we have the knowledge of that condition, the knowing of it. The body is an object that you just cannot miss. So you really focus on the physical presence of the body. Then the mind stream, the mental element, is aware of the physical nature, the physical presence. And immediately we can cognize, we can realize, we understand that they are different. The mind knowing the body and the body in the mind. We're not thinking, we're aware of that. It's like a photograph. You snap it, snap to it. Get out of the thinking, thought processing factory and rest in awareness of this body formation. Then within the body, there's the breath. So you can focus even more deeply, in greater detail, on the breath. And it's arising, staying for a while, falling away. And what does that feel like? We stay with that subtle movement. We know it, it arises, we know the arising, it's there for a moment, we're aware of that, and then it falls away, and we practice continuous awareness of these conditioned phenomena in consciousness, to the exclusion of everything else. Just feeling and knowing the feeling. sensing, being aware of that. Present, letting go of thoughts. It's like the traffic. You take the side streets. You go the free, empty way, not the freeway, not the big highway that's full of cars, but we go into the more subtle interstices of the heart, where thoughts do not arise. But awareness is strong and vibrant, and we cultivate that. To cultivate is to grow, to farm, to care for, to fertilize, to observe, to treasure, to rejoice in. It doesn't mean that thoughts are bad, but it's just like if you're going deep sea diving, you don't stay on the surface of the water watching the waves. You dive in deeply. You're looking, scouring the deepest depths of the ocean to find hidden treasure. So it is with the mind. There are hidden treasures, and they can only be known with this special action of the mind, which is exploring an intuitive dimension of knowing truth, of being aware of the present moment, timeless, no past, no future, only this, what is here now, in this moment. We treasure that. We cherish it. We explore this domain with interest, with curiosity, with love, with gratitude. This is a rare opportunity, a special opportunity to learn what spiritual seekers have been learning for millennia, especially the Buddha himself and all the Buddhas that came before him, explored in this way and discovered the truth of the present reality. And we're here emulating that passage and seeking that same discovery within ourselves. Because he was a human being, we know that this is possible for us. It's the practice of wholesomeness based on, seated in goodwill, inviting a wholesome mind state into the heart and sustaining it for one's own well-being, for one's own happiness and peace. This is metta, the practice of goodwill, freedom from unwholesome states. It's a goodwill. It's a rejoicing in the goodness of our life, of our intention and our view, that our onlooking towards others is benevolent, is harmonious, is based on, seated in goodwill, purity, kindness, gentleness, benevolence, support, and care. We direct that inwards towards ourselves for our well-being and happiness through whatever we face. We graduate from intention to an actual honoring and embodying that well-being. It's not just a thought, or an idea, but it is embodied, that we allow it to permeate our whole being, we become like electrified with it, charged with it, so that we can share this. Being mindful not to allow any other intrusions into our cultivation of goodwill for all beings, beginning with ourselves. To stay on the path, on the trajectory of spreading this goodwill in all directions, north, south, east, west, northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest, above and below, 10 directions, beginning from within our own heart, within our own belly, not head space, but a belly heart space, permeated with goodwill, and directing it inward, building it, forming it, filling up with that, just the way the heater fills up the room with warm air. Then we spread it in each direction, intentionally, to those that are near and dear, to those that are near and far, to those that are not dear, whether near or far, to all beings. Can we do this? Can we spread this beautiful quality of goodwill to beings we both feel close to or not close to? Close to not in distance only, but close to even at a far distance, and not close to at a near distance or at a far distance. Even those who cause harm in this world, can we remove that sense of their harm and forgive enough to wish them freedom from pain, from ignorance, from delusion? Can we wish them to be harmless? So we're spreading a sense of benevolence to all beings, having invited that into our own being, having been blessed by that sense of well-being, having forgiven within thoroughly, and then converted that forgiveness into this benevolent, blessed wish for the well-being of all. Universally, unconditionally. May all beings in the East be well and happy, peaceful, free from harm, from suffering, from distress and disease. May they realize the deathless. And sequentially, we wish this for all beings in the West, all beings in the North, all beings in the South, and every other direction and above and below. May all beings realize the truth of this freedom from suffering, for their benefit, for their support, for their happiness, and for their liberation. Whatever the Buddha has imparted to us like a mother, he has nourished us so well, so profoundly. He has blessed us like mother, father, in every possible way. And so, going beyond keeping this for ourselves, we share and spread and direct these blessings in all directions, everywhere, with utmost openness and generosity, as much as we can. We share the goodness inwardly to ourselves, to purify, to heal, to forgive, to modify, to liberate, to endow, to receive the treasures and live them through our words, our thoughts, our deeds, our hopes, through our peace, through our understanding, our wisdom. We are not idle on the throne of contentment, but we are dynamic. We are feeders of the world to end suffering in whatever way we can, inwardly as well as outwardly, through right speech, right view, right intention, right spending of our energy, right directing of our strength and our courage to help and support through kindness and compassion. Whatever is shared with beings around us, beings everywhere, strengthens and doubles that quality within us. As they say in olden times, a joy shared is a joy doubled, and a sorrow shared is a sorrow halved. So we decrease the suffering and we ascend in the joy of this quality of unconditional love, unconditional compassion, in honor of the teacher's way. And the goodness within us accumulates, so we can keep sharing and sharing and blessing and being blessed.